Donald Trump first called for a total and complete shutdown on Muslim immigration back in December. After the Pulse nightclub shooting just a couple of weeks ago, Donald Trump again called for a complete immigration ban from countries with what he described as a history of terrorism against the United States. But Donald Trump has shifted yet again on the so-called Muslim ban. He told CNN's Jeremy Diamond that he only wants to focus on people coming from the terror states. Unclear exactly which states those are, then going on to say that immigrants from countries with great terrorism would be blocked. No word on whether he still wants American Muslims to carry a special ID card as part of his Register Muslims initiative that he mentioned. Katrina Pearson, the Trump spokeswoman, who is quite well known to many in our audience, also said that the ban never singled out Muslims at all. It was specifically Muslims from particular places or with ties to particular acts or whatever. Who even knows what the plan was? So let's go through this embarrassing and abortive timeline and see if we can figure out what it is that happened. December 7th, 2015 was when that policy proposal for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States was first proposed. In June, things started to get a little bit confusing. June 13th, at a speech a day after the Pulse nightclub terror attack, Trump promised to suspend immigration from areas of the world where there's a proven history of terrorism against the United States. And later, after the speech on Twitter that same day, he said that the goal is suspending immigration from nations tied to Islamic terror. 2 days later, in Atlanta, Trump reiterated support for the Muslim ban, saying that it applied in particular to people, quote, coming from certain horrible parts of the world with terror ties, but not calling for a blanket ban on Muslims. On June 22nd in New York City, Trump actually talked about peaceful Muslims and started sort of softening the tone on this Muslim ban. And then in Scotland on June 25th, Trump said that he would have no problem with Scottish or British Muslims coming to the U.S., saying, quote, that it doesn't bother me. And then yesterday, via phone with NBC, Trump said that his Muslim ban would apply, quote, in particular to the terrorist states. Trump's had more positions on banning Muslims than the Kama Sutra, right, Lewis, to quote Anna Navarro earlier today on CNN?
Yes, it seems there's a lot of shifting, but it's funny that he has to keep commenting on something that he couldn't implement anyway.
Right.
He has all
no
these
doubt.
different, yeah, it's crazy.
So the question now when he says it's going to be focused on certain countries is which countries? It's unclear which countries, because when we talk about countries where we have seen Islamist terror, is he talking about banning people coming to the U.S., Muslims from Belgium? I mean, if you're a Muslim in Belgium, are you straight up banned? Belgium has seen, although not state-sponsored, has seen Islamic terror. He is now reworking the plan, and apparently later today or tomorrow we can expect a report with some of the specifics. Imagine being one of Trump's people who's been assigned to sit in a room and talk about exactly which Muslims to ban from coming to the United States. That seems like a very sad state of affairs. I would be depressed, I think, if that was my job for Trump.
Well, if you opted to work for Trump, you'd be thrilled to be working for Trump. Dave, you'd do a double backflip at the thought of being able to choose the countries from which you can ban Muslims.
Because that'd be one of those tremendous, terrific, greatest people that Trump would be putting on his staff.
Yeah, like all the people we've seen work for him thus far. Just the best.
So what is the Trump Muslim ban plan, and does it even matter at this point? Are there any voters left who are in their minds saying, you know, I'd be fully on the Trump train except for that Muslim ban, and now that he's softening, I'm all into voting for Donald Trump? I can't imagine there are too many of those people, but if you think they exist, or if you're one of them, let me know.
Gamefly is sort of like Netflix for video games. They have over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price. There's never any due dates or late fees. And our audience can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included. There's no contracts, and you can rent games through the mobile app. Get the free 30-day trial for the David Pakman Show audience and support our show by going to gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.